Hi, my name is Howard Rosenblum, and this is my sign name. I am the new Chief Executive or CEO of the National Association for the Deaf, NAD. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come and present and describe the different viewpoints that NAD has at this meeting. We're here to talk very important issues that are impacting schools and children across the country. So I'm glad that you're taking the time to all come together to here so we can talk about all these different issues and ideas and how we can start preventing these problems from happening for our children. The children are the future leaders of NAD, so if we don't fight now, it's not going to be good for our community and our country and here at NAD. Right now, there's many issues that we need to look at that are preventing the knowledge and education for deaf children. It's impacting many institutions across the country. Many schools are closing. I know there's schools in New York that are completely taking programs out. In South Dakota, in the South, they're struggling. There's many budgets being cut, and it's just hurting the education of deaf children. Kentucky, Florida, all over the country, it's spreading. We can't allow that to continue. We can't let the process to continue without starting to get involved. And the deaf community needs to speak of these issues and make them known. They need to know what our deaf community needs for children. So the question is, what can we do now? I have 3 different ideas that we can look at. The first one is federal, the second one is law, and the third one is politics. So we're going to look at NAD and deaf institutions. And we're going to try to advocate for these programs. You can find more information at the NAD website, which is located now at the bottom of the screen. So now we're going to focus on the 3 major points: federal, law, and political. States all across the country are closing and making cuts, but we can't allow it to continue. People are obsessed with saving money. Where can we save money? Where can we make cuts? The political aspect is you're looking at making cuts, but you look at different programs and think, how can we make cuts? Where can we make cuts? And they think, where can we make cuts that's going to cause less of an uproar? Where can we make cuts where we're going to hear absolutely no complaining? But if they're going to cut our programs, we're not going to be quiet. We're definitely going to make an issue of this. We want the political aspect to know that this is not okay. That just means that if they make cuts for deaf institutions, that's just going to cost more money for the state, and that happens because there's only going to be about 1 program. There's going to be less programs. You can't learn a language through an interpreter. That's impossible. You have to be in a community where everybody's using the language. So if you put a child in a school that just has an interpreter, it's not going to be the same as if they were going to go to a deaf institution, which are being cut. So they're going to have to hire, if they do make these cuts, what they're going to have to do is at least hire many, many interpreters to go to all these different schools, and that's only going to cost the states more money. So that's a cost issue. Hey, we have to tell them, just so you know, if you're going to make these cuts, it's just going to cost you more to hire interpreters. If you want to save money, then you're just going to have to keep the school. So that's one. We're going to eventually have to go to the legislative branch to make these issues known. If schools are being cut near you, or if this is affecting you, you have to meet with somebody and let them know. You can't wait. You have to let them know, I live in your district, and this is affecting me. I want the deaf school to be open for deaf children to go to school there and learn and be able to produce sign language. By cutting these schools and trying to save money is not going to be helping anybody. You need to meet with people and let them know so people are educated and aware. So when it comes time to make cuts, they know the facts, and they know that many people have met and come out to talk about their concerns. If you meet with political leaders and people that make decisions, then there won't be any more cuts. The political aspect is that you have to have parents get involved heavily to let the lawmakers know what to do with the school near you. Without parents, there's no power. You need to educate parents on one major issue. All deaf children deserve a free and appropriate education. Some can go to mainstream schools, and that's fine, but you have to understand that there's a huge range of children that prefer and need to go to a deaf school with all deaf children. If deaf schools are closed, that means that they don't have any options. We need to educate lawmakers and people in general of the wide range of deaf children that have different needs, and not everybody can go to a mainstream school. There has to be options for them. They deserve free education that's right for them, just like anybody else. Keeping these deaf schools open will really save the money, will really save them money. We have to keep making sure that we're going to these leaders and lawmakers and making sure that they know that making deaf schools on the top of the priority list to cut is just not an option, and that we will stand up for our rights and our deaf children's rights. And we have to just keep informing them that this is not going to be a quiet issue. And also, parents need to know that if they're cutting schools, that's illegal, because you're taking away a student's rights. It's easy to just throw out some information and sit back and see what happens, but that's not what we need to do here. We need to keep fighting, and we need to keep getting in their face and letting them know that this is not okay, and that we're recognizing that this is an issue here for the deaf community. We cannot just give up and wait and then try again later. We need to fight every single day. And then hopefully these issues will be resolved forever, and we won't have to deal with them anymore. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you. And I'm glad that you're all supporting NAD and our fight to keep deaf schools in the community.